Hey guys, welcome to another sessions related to Excel. In one of the previous videos of Excel, we have discussed how to get the data using a specific authentication policy in the new NSE website. So how you can get the data from new NSE website. In this video, I am going to show how to get data from any other website, which includes n number of website you can go. So this method works for any website regardless of which website you are trying to get the data from. Before getting into the details of this video, a couple of things need to be mentioned here. So pulling the data from specific website may be or may not be allowed. So check with specific websites terms and condition before going through the data processing of any website. This video is educational purposes only and show you how to do it just for the usage of Excel. How you are going to use this knowledge of this video, it will be responsibility of individuals. Okay, so first let us revisit one of the concept that we learned is one of our videos related to how the data works. So basically each of the website companies, they will have their own hosting servers, and then actual data that you are seeing in the website is basically located in their server side. Now when depending on website built on which technology and which process they used, also depending on the underlying coding or programming the website using, so depending on that the website displays data either in a mixed way, which is the data is mixed with user interface, or it is displayed as a application programming interface and the data is bind to the user interface, which means whatever you are seeing in your eyes in the website. Okay, so depending on the method, the backend code they are using and the authentication policy they are using, depending on that it is decided whether you can extract the data from any website or not. So some website this method will work, for some website this method may not work. For example, in the previous video we have shown how to get the data from new NSE website, and you know very well that in that case we will need to do a cookie authentication to get the data from the new NSE website, and without the authentication mechanism the NSE website data cannot be fetched. Okay, so that might be case from other website also. They might have some other policies, or there could be a different way how they integrate. Okay, now so depending on the website developers and the website company, you might need to check whether this method works in the specific website you are trying to get the data from. Okay, so let's start with some examples. Okay, let's try to get the data from, let's say I have some popular website called investing.com. okay, so investing.com shows this indices feature, which is basically shows the real-time data of whatever the data is for the global different CFD indexes it is showing. So let's try to get that data from here. So while I am doing this, please go ahead and hit that like button in this video and maybe put a comment. This will encourage us to bring more videos like this in the futures. Okay, so once you are in Excel and you have copied the URL of the website there, what you gonna do, you want to come to the data tab of the Excel. Okay, so once you are in the data tab, you will be seeing something called from web. If you don't see the from web button, go to the get data and then from the menu go from other sources and then select from web. So from web is the option you need to click, and this will bring up an window with the option to input the URL. So this is where I am going to paste the URL that I have done and keep the basic method and click on OK. So this, for any website, if you do this, it will bring you, it will take some time, and there will be some list of items visible after if it's successful. So which means the whether website is allowing you to get the data without any authentication or not, that will be clear whether you see a list of data after this loading finishes sometime. So if you see this, it's showing this folder icon and under that some table icon, and then there are table 0, table 10. If you see this, that means that website is allowing you to use the anonymous authentication and get the data directly in your Excel. Okay, so in this case what I want is I want to get this data. So what I'll have to see, I have to go back here and check each of the item that is there and which one is the one I want. Okay, so if I go to table 0, this is showing the one I want actually. So this is the data US30, US500, whatever it is. This is the data I want. So you select the data you want in that particular table and click on load. So this will automatically create the connection in the backend and it will load the data. So this is the connection you can see. If you want, you can go further, right click, edit, and go to the Power Query editor and do all the modification you want to do with the source method. Okay, so this is a simple way to get the data from any website. Now I have shown if you want to do a refresh, you need to just click on somewhere, click on the refresh button. This should refresh it automatically. And since there is an authentication method required, this will automatically get refreshed. Or you can go click here, right click on refresh. So this way you can get data from any website. Let's take an example of another website. Let's go to Money Control. So this is giving me some list of top gainers here. You can choose any other also, most active or something like whatever data you want. And I'll do the same thing. Basically I'll just copy paste the URL of the website, go back here, and let's say I'll go to another sheet and then go to data and get data from other source, from web, paste the URL. Okay, now in this case, if you want to check, you can go to advanced tab as well. So advanced tabs gives you basically interface for additional parameter. So let's say I was doing a cookie authentication, right? So that kind of authentication header you can add here with the advanced options. Okay, or if you have multi-part query in the URL, you can add it there. So this is only for those who are trying to explore. And for this video method that I am showing you, it's not required to check on the advanced tab. You can stick to basic tab, paste the URL, click on OK, and then wait for the data to be loaded. Okay, so it will take some time to data the load, but after this connecting message, if there is any error, that means the website does not allow fetching the data without any authentication. Okay, so now again its window is coming and see there are items, which means this website is allowing me to get the data from their website. So I'll go to the document and table 0. So table 0 is something is giving me the actual data in here. So I'll just click on load. And you can see the data is coming here. Okay, so this is from this website, data is from moneycontrol.com. Let's try some other website where it does not allow. Let's go to another. So there is some custom data is there. So basically this website use a different technology for their data fetching. So if I just copy this link and let's see if it's let me allow to get the data in the same way or not. So I'll go to from web again and paste my URL, click on OK, and wait for the table to become. Now in this case, if I see there is only one item is there called document, and document is not showing me data in this table view. If you go back to the web view, you will be seeing the entire website. This basically means the data and the user interface, the interface that you're seeing here, both are combined tightly. They are it's like mixed together, and that's why the process cannot fetch the table data and it can only show the web data. So it does not mean that you cannot completely extract the data. You can still extract the data, but the problem is you cannot do it in this method. You have to write a custom code which parses through the entire HTML and then parses each and individual cell, and which is very complicated method, and if you want to do it and you are proficient with coding, you can try it. Otherwise you will not be able to get it. So this was one of the example that some website may not allow the data to be pulled because of the technology they use for their website. Okay, now so we have checked couple of websites where we can get the data from. I'll leave it to you to check out some other website using this same method and see if you can fetch the data directly or not. Okay, now coming to some of the issues. Okay, so the issues of data fetching in Excel could be different type. Some of you guys are facing issue related to NAC, related to authentication method. So to solve the authentication related issue, what you have to do, you have to go to that, edit that connection and go to the Power Query window. In the Power Query window, you have to go to data source setting, select the whatever connection you are trying to fix, select the connection, edit the permission. Now there will be two windows, one is for credential, one is privacy level. So privacy level you can see none, public, organization, private. It has to be selected none. So for privacy level, have the none selected, and credential it will be anonymous because you don't have any credential. Now there are other options here like Windows, basic, web API, organization. So these are the authentication method that is required for if you already have the credential. For web API option you can use if you are paying for a data and you are paying for an API, they will give you a authentication key. In that case you can use that key in here to authenticate. Some of the other options are Windows, like if your the website has a Windows based authentication and your computer is the same domain, you can also use Windows authentication. But in all other cases, and mostly this is the case for everything, you have to have anonymous selected. So make sure that you have always have anonymous selected and privacy level is none. So this should solve your any authentication related issue that you are facing for the NAC website related video. Okay, so the authentication types I discussed. So the current video, the method we have shown directly from web and simple method, which you have paste the URL, click OK and select the table. That for that you don't need any authentication. So that is only possible if the website is allowing it. Data mixed with UI component that I have shown you is this data, which is basically mixed with the UI component, and this data cannot be separated from the user interface in the Excel. Okay, now JSON data. So this is JSON data is required if you are doing cookie based authentications. In that case you will need the JSON data. Okay, or if you are writing a code which you want to parse separately and do some advanced coding on that, for that it's better if you have JSON data. But in case you don't have the JSON data URL, you can directly try the method I have shown in this video, which is basically going to the website, copying the entire URL, paste it using from web. Okay, so this is the other method that you can try if it's you are not able to get the JSON URL for that. Okay, I think for this video that will be all. So you have learned it's quite simple method to get data from any website if the website is allowing you to fetch the data. Okay, if you like the video, please hit the like button and put a comment, and also please recommend to your friends about subscribing our channel.